This news update is brought to you by
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connect to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow.
It's Thursday, October 1, and time for the Barbados Today afternoon update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Fatalities on the country's roads remain low despite an increase in the number of vehicles. And the Chief Technical Officer in the Ministry of Transport at national level is crediting it to what he described as the exceptional road safety measures. Speaking at last night's town hall meeting at Queen's College on road rehabilitation works across the island, Lovell explained that the low fatality rate was due to proper design and layout of roads on the island. However, he revealed that fender benders are on the rise.
We're not as successful as we were hoping we should be, even though the accident statistics would tend to suggest that Barbados is not as bad as we would like to make it sound. Because if you think about Barbados, we unfortunately have people who die on the road, but we haven't gone over 33 persons dying on the road for probably the last 30 years. And we have moved from about 30,000 vehicles to 115,000 vehicles at this time. So maybe we're doing something right in terms of fatalities or keeping fatalities down. Yes, registered, because as the minister was pointing out, there's another 15,000 that ain't registered. So we've been keeping fatalities down by building out the network in as safe a way as possible in terms of the geometrics. But obviously, because the number of traffic vehicles on the road, the fact that persons are not necessarily given to the old Asian culture of living way, we do have a few more fender benders than we would normally expect, even at this time.
It's day 2 of hearings into the retrenchment of over 80 workers of the National Conservation Commission, and the former General Secretary of the National Union of Public Workers, Dennis Clark, is expected to give evidence before the Employment Rights Tribunal this afternoon. The long-awaited hearings started yesterday with former General Worker Q.T. Lynch, who was acting as representative for the dismissed workers, being cross-examined for an hour by counsel for the NCC, Mitchell Codrington. The hearing, which is taking place at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center, is open to the public. Health officials in Barbados will need to return to the drawing board to address the perception of condom use. So says the director of the National HIV/AIDS Commission, Jacqueline Wiltshire, following the launch of the 2013-2014 Knowledge, Attitudes, Beliefs and Sexual Practice Survey yesterday. That report pointed out that Barbadians were not using condoms, one of the top methods of preventing sexually transmitted diseases effectively.
This information is obviously very important for us because it means that we have still a gap in our condom social marketing program and our intervention in relation to condoms and the use of condoms and for what they're used. Every year we do a big condom distribution and we give out thousands of condoms, but it still means that the behavior that we are seeking is still not, on point to what we would or target. So what we're going to have to is go back to the drawing board for once and look and see where it is that we have really been missing the boat with these condoms and getting them to the use that they're supposed to be.
The survey also showed that most people used the condom to prevent pregnancy as opposed to preventing STIs.
Yes, they're for pregnancy, but that is, as you said, that is not the main reason that we as the National HIV/AIDS Commission have been promoting condom use. And we will have to make sure that people understand that it's not only HIV, it's all sexually transmitted infections, which includes HIV, that we'll need to put more emphasis on STIs. There's a correlating sort of lack of knowledge relating to the transmission of sexually transmitted infections. And I think that that is an area that we will have to work with the Ministry of Health in getting much more successful behavioral interventions designed.
That was Director of the National HIV/AIDS Commission, Joaquin, speaking to Barbados today following the launch of the behavioral survey. The people of Boscobel St. Peter are seeking relief from water woes experienced for the last few months, and they are pleading for better service from the Barbados Water Authority. Barbados Labour Party candidate for St. Peter, Colin Jordan, complained that the water situation had worsened over time to a point where some residents no longer bothered to complain or express frustration.
What we call the Greater Boscobel area, which would include where we are in Gaze, Boscobel, the Triple, Collins, the Baltic. In these areas, we've been experiencing water shortages for many months. And it's going to the point where residents are so frustrated that many of them have stopped complaining. They've been asked to store water. They'll store water and expecting that the water service will resume maybe in a day or maybe two. And some days they're going for 3, 4, 5 days, sometimes a whole week without water. The trucks, the water tankers have been told sometimes to come into the area and just pass through. Something they least been arranged because there are lots of persons who are not at home when the water tankers come through and are not able to access water at the time. In other situations, sometimes the trucks, they've told me, come as far as Gaze and never get into Boscobel. And so persons have been having to go with their cars to standpipes and Castle and far away just to get water.
It's day one of the long-awaited sea egg season, and so far some 400 divers have been granted licenses to harvest the local delicacy. The season, which was closed for some time, will last for 1 month, and there are strict regulations in place, including restrictions against breaking the urchins on the fishing ground and a hefty fine for those found without a license. The season will close at the end of October.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter, that's the move for me. Stability, prosperity, we're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
To the region now, schools are closed as well as other businesses as the eye of Hurricane Joaquin passes over the Samana Cays in the Bahamas. Central parts of the country are experiencing hurricane-force winds and storm surge, and forecasters say heavy rain will continue through tonight. Reports from an Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunter aircraft indicate that maximum sustained winds have increased to near 125 miles per hour with higher gusts. Joaquin is a Category 3 hurricane, and some additional strengthening is possible during the next 24 hours, with some fluctuations in intensity possible Friday night into Saturday. And over in St. Lucia, teachers at one of the island's top secondary schools left the classrooms yesterday for the picket line over unsafe working conditions. More in this report from HTS News Force.
The teachers at the Castries Comprehensive Secondary School did away with the school curriculum and instead took seats in protest over alleged poor working conditions. Joanne Annaville is the shop steward at the learning institution.
That our students are supervised by the prefects while teachers engage themselves in planning, marking, but they are basically not going to classes.
This is one moment the storied institution would want expunged from the official record. The teachers claim the school has been in a state of disrepair for several years, and issues with ailing infrastructure are nothing new to CCSS. Concerned educators reportedly presented a 25-page document to government back in 2011. Public education officials subsequently visited the site. However, no substantial improvements were allegedly made to the school building. Now teachers say the faculty has reached breaking point.
On the international scene, Russia says it has launched airstrikes in Syria for a second day, targeting Islamic State and other groups, destroying the militants' ammunition depot and control centers. However, reports say the areas attacked appeared to be held by groups opposed to ISIS and the Syrian government. And over in Iran, officials are reporting that the number of its citizens who died in the Hajj stampede in Saudi Arabia last week has reached 464, nearly doubling the previous toll. And authorities say they are no longer hoping to find any of the country's missing pilgrims alive. According to Saudi officials, 769 people died in the crash in Mina near Mecca and 934 were injured. However, the Saudis have been criticized over their handling of security and for the slow publication of casualty figures. And that's news. For more, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, our email updates, and like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 101 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM for all the latest news and sports. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Join us again this evening.